Hey guys, good morning or good afternoon. Today we're going to be focusing on a hip flow, primarily to strengthen as well as stretch out those hips. I know when you're sat down a long time or if you do certain sports, you're going to be quite tight there, so it can be a bit troublesome to get into poses like downward facing dog or even pigeon. So we're going to be working towards various poses that are going to help to open as well as strengthen them to help you in your day-to-day life as well. So in terms of props, we're just going to need a strap. If you haven't got one, just grab a towel. If you're super tight in your hips, grab a towel that's a little longer or a scarf. I've just got sort of a medium-sized towel with me. So let's get straight into it. Lying down on your mat and just start to tap into your breath. Bring your feet down on the mat. Start to note your breath, the quality, the length, closing down your eyes, arriving on your mat, and making two commitments today. One, to honor your breath above all else, and the other to really focus on consciously connecting with the muscles we're going to be working. Start to elongate your breath, deep inhales and deeper exhales. Tapping on your ujjayi breath, if it's something you practice with, that ocean breath. Now flexing both feet, grab your towel. Bring your left or right foot up, doesn't really matter which one. And I want that towel to be placed in the center of your foot, as you can see. Really important that we're flexing both of our feet here, so we're really activating and lengthening the back of that leg. You may already start to feel it. So I just have one deep inhale, honoring the oxygen all the way through to the end of the calf, and exhale, surrender. Grab that towel with your right hand. And really important here, I want you to visualize a rope pulling down on that glute, the lifted leg glute, pulling it down into the mat. We're going to be coming over the body. So bring that leg over the body, and it's a slight movement. You're going to feel it all along the side, as well as within the glute med, glute min, and even the piriformis. So it's really getting into those deeper gluteal tissues too. Taking a deep inhale and exhale, flexing that foot, driving the hip into the hip socket. One more inhale here, and exhale, come to center. Grab it with the same hand as the foot in the air, and let's slowly start to open out to the side. Now, if you're super flexible, don't just dump into the ground. We really want to be strengthening here as well. If your flexibility is something you tend to use a lot in practice, remember to flex both feet, working into those adductors, the inner thighs here. One more inhale, exhale. Coming to center, maybe a cheeky little stretch towards your face with your foot, just to feel that back leg opening. And let's switch straight away. So other foot now, bring that towel into the center. Shoulders stay down on the mat, so if you need a longer scarf, do so. Grabbing that towel with the left hand or opposite hand to the foot, flexing both feet first before we go anywhere. Inhale here. Remember, driving that right hip into the ground, the lifted leg hip into the ground, before slowly crossing over the body. Remember, it shouldn't be a big movement. The moment your hip starts to rise, you're no longer doing the pose. So keeping that hip connected to the mat. I definitely feel it more on this side. One more inhale here. Exhale, come to center. Now bringing the same hand to foot in the air, we're going to switch over. You might need to shuffle a little if space is limited, as it is for me. Remember, flexing both feet, inhale, and exhale, open up, stretching that inner thigh. Now it's normal to have one leg that's going to be a little tighter than the other. We don't have balance exactly the same in both sides. So maybe just acknowledging which side feels tighter, being aware of it so that we can breathe deeper into it and open more space into that side. One more inhale here. Exhale, come to center. Maybe a little cheeky stretch towards the face with that foot, flexing it, feeling it all the way through the back leg. And release. Let's come into a happy baby to open those inner thighs a little more. So hands come inside the knees and grab the outside of the soles of the feet. So you want to make sure that your lower back is staying on the ground here, you're not lifting up. So that means that you have to grab your shins. Just go there for now. We're just at the start of the practice, so just honor where you're at. Every day is different. So treating each time you enter the mat as your first time. And if you're super flexible, pushing the soles of the feet against those hands to create a little bit of resistance in the legs. And let's come into a ball and start rocking up and down, massaging the spine as we go along. As many rocks as you'd like or that you feel you need, and coming on to tabletop. And let's move straight into my favorite start on the mat, which is figure 8. So bring your weight over your fingers and circling into figure 8 to your hips, almost into a child's pose. This one really kind of gets you to understand what's tight in your body, especially in the hips, as well as the shoulders. Maybe spending a little more time in one if you feel it's tighter. Maybe doing a couple of arches and sinks of the belly. Just honoring what you need. And now we're going to come straight into puppy pose. So this is a super intense pose for a lot of people. If that's the case and going there slowly, we want our knees directly under our hips. You can tuck your feet or you can leave them loose, whichever one works for you. And we're keeping our bum in the air, bringing our chest down to the ground. This time I'd like us to tent our fingers. So creating little tents for our fingers will allow us to strengthen our shoulders a little more. So coming down as far as you can. So this may be it for you. Making sure the neck is slightly tucked and long. And just honor where you are. But if you can do the full expression, bringing your chin all the way down, but keeping your hands raised. So you really feel it in that shoulder. And let's slowly come up. Placing your hands shoulder width apart, fingers are spread apart. Tuck the toes shoulder width apart as well, or hip width apart. And bring your bum to the sky into your downward facing dog. Now before we start to shift and move in this pose, I want us to remain still, close down our eyes, and draw a picture on how we feel in this pose at the start of the practice. So maybe you feel energetically, you feel physically, how you feel mentally, what thoughts are going on, how it feels to be in this pose. And now I want you to imagine a friend is stood in your room and they've taken a picture of your first downward facing dog and what it may look like. Maybe your heels are really high off the ground. Maybe your knees are really bent, because downward dog is all about elongating the spine, so that's what we honor first. Just taking a picture where you're at. And now making any movements you need. So that might be to walk your dog. One leg raises, one leg stays down, or maybe that's raising both and bringing them down. Maybe it's coming onto one side and then shifting onto the other side. Feeling that nice stretch in the rib cage too. And now finding stillness. Let's walk up to the top of the mat. Bent knees or straight legs. And when we're at the top, let's give a really generous bend to those knees so that our chest is on our thighs towards our knees. And I want us to grab our shin, or the back of our shins with our hands. If you're super flexible, you can cross over. And we're aiming for the crown of our head to be towards the toes. So every inhale, I want us to focus on lengthening towards the toes, and every exhale, focus on lengthening the legs, maybe making them a little straighter. Inhale, Lengthen the crown. Exhale. Straightening the legs. One more deep inhale here. Completely surrender. Letting go with your hands. Maybe a bit of a ragdoll for a round of breath. Before slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, soft knees, rolling up the spine. Giving yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. And preparing to flow. So let's come to the top of the mat. Toes touching, kneecaps are lifted, your core is engaged, you've got a neutral pelvis, maybe a slight tuck. Ribs are knitted in, shoulders are down, chest is proud. Inhale, hands to the sky. Look up if possible. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees if you need to, hands to the ground. Release the neck. Inhale, half look up, roll those shoulders back. Exhale, place the hands down. Let's come into plank for a round of breath. So in plank, we want to be pushing the ground away, protracting those shoulders, squeezing the bum a little bit to bring it in. Feeling strong in this pose, a lot of space, doming that upper back. And exhale all the way down with your body, untucking your toes. Let's use those tens again. Bring them outside the mat. We want to inhale, press down with the toes, bring the chest up using that whole posterior chain. Exhale, oscillate down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. One more time, inhale up. And exhale down. Bring your hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the thighs off the ground, engage them. And we're going to lift up to plank on the next inhale. And exhale to your downward facing dog. Taking a round of breath here, I want you to think of rotating those armpits so they're facing each other. And then doing that opposite action with the legs, so we're internally rotating. On your next inhale, raise that right leg up to the sky. It may not raise very high, that's fine. What we do want to focus on is flexing that front foot, the lifted foot. Push away with the hands. Engage that right glute to lift your leg a little higher. Feel the inner adductors of those legs working hard. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Bring your weight forward into your plank. Round the upper back. Inhale, back up to your three-legged dog, flexing that foot. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding the back. A big dome in that back. Inhaling the leg up. And exhale, dome the back, staying here. Placing your right foot by your right thumb. If it doesn't get there immediately, just using your hand to get it there. Release the back leg, untuck the toes. Come up into your low lunge. So here we want to be sinking the hips a little bit, but staying strong in our core. So we're not just collapsing into the pose, we feel strong. Pressing down with that back shin to scissor the hips together. Squaring the hips. Inhaling. Reach those hands up. Exhale, let's cactus the arms. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, place your hands down. Let's flow through a vinyasa. So chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog if you're ready. Otherwise, cobra. Thighs off the ground. Exhale to downward facing dog. Straight away, lift that left leg up to the sky. Flex the foot. Staying here to really feel into this pose. So I feel a really big stretch in that right leg. Honoring the flex of the foot towards the mat with the lifted leg. Squeezing that left glute to raise your leg a little higher. And exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl. Dome the upper back. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Pushing the ground away. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. And then placing that left foot by the left thumb. Releasing the back leg, untucking the foot. Inhale to your low lunge. Same as before, so we're allowing the hips to drop slightly to really release that hip flexors, the psoas muscle too, which you use a lot when we're sitting down. can really shorten. But making sure our core is strong, our ribs are knitted in. So it's a really active pose. Pressing down with that back leg. And exhale, let's cactus our arms. Open the chest. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, resist the arms down. One more inhale to the sky. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Flowing through a chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog, shoulders down. Exhaling, hips to sky to your downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, open your mouth. Let it go. Inhale to your tippy toes. Exhale, look forward. Step or hop to the front of the mat. Half look up. Exhale, fold. Surrender to the ground. Inhale, lift your arms to the sky. And exhale, we'll fold straight back down. Inhale, half look up. Exhale, place your hands. Shift the weight forward and even hop or step back through your vinyasa. Inhaling to upward facing dog. And rolling back to your downward facing dog. This time straight away, right leg to the sky, flexing the foot. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. One inhale here. And exhale, place the foot down. Inhale up to a high lunge this time if you're ready. And let's find some stability in this pose. So if you need to heel toe that right foot out to the side a little to cause a little bit more stability, you go ahead and do that. Inhaling here. Core in, exhale, honor that 90-degree angle in the front foot. Inhale here. Exhale. On the next inhale, straighten both legs, stay on the ball of that back foot. And exhale, I want us to drop, but imagine an anchor pouring from our tailbone. So we're neither moving forward nor backwards. We're staying in a straight line. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And on the next exhale, staying down here. And if this is enough for you, great, I'm already shaking. Otherwise, grab that left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, come over to the right side. Feeling even greater stretch in that left psoas muscle, as well as engaging all those muscles to keep us here. One more inhale. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, come up. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling to upward facing dog, thighs off the ground. Exhale, flowing through. Straight away, left leg lifts to the sky. Flex the foot. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Staying here for a round. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, place that foot by the left thumb. Inhaling up to your high lunge. Again, finding stability here. So if you're heel toeing that left foot to the side, trying to hit that 90-degree angle on that front leg. Core is engaged, long neck. On the next inhale, straighten those legs. And again, imagine that anchor pouring straight down your spine. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale up. And this time, exhale, hover that right knee an inch off the ground. Staying here or grabbing that right wrist with the left fingers. Inhale to lengthen, core in. Exhale to shift over to the left side. Really feeling that release on the right psoas, the right hip flexors. Shaking's okay. One more inhale. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Elbows staying into the body when you're chaturanga. Inhaling to your upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale here. Exhale out your mouth. Let it go. Already working up a big sweat. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Let it go. One more deep inhale here. Exhale. On the next inhale, raise your right leg to the sky, flexing that foot. This time, exhale, place it straight away. No tiger curls to that right thumb. Inhale up to your high lunge. You've been here before. And exhale, straight away, open up into that Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So our hips are now open. We should feel that nice opening of the hips. 90-degree angle that front leg. Knee tracking outward slightly. Our back of our foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Back leg is straight. Shoulders are relaxed. Arms are strong. One more inhale here. And exhale. Nothing changing on the lower body. Imagine you're concrete. Flip the palm. Inhale. Paint the sky and reverse your warrior. Staying for an inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale to your Parsvakonasana. So right forearm to the right upper thigh. Left arm overhead. Bend in that knee as much as possible. And with every inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open that chest to the sky. One more inhale here. Exhale, open. And now let's inhale to our reverse warrior just as a transition. And exhale, transition to our lizard. So we're coming onto the ball of that back foot. And we're dropping our hands to the inside of that front leg. This can feel super intense for some people. So if you know that's you, just grab some books now. Hit pause, grab some books. And you can use them to come a little higher. Otherwise, honoring where you're at. A couple of movements back and forth. We've done a lot of work opening into that hip already. Coming down onto your elbows if you need to, if that feels good, but not dropping the knees. So we're making this an active lizard. Keeping that right knee into the body rather than coming out. And then wherever we are, lifting up and meeting in plank. To now come down to our forearm plank. So you've got options here, guys. So either staying in your forearm plank, keeping your shoulders pushing away from the ground, protraction of that shoulder blade, engaging those glutes, tucking the tailbone slightly, staying here. Child's pose is always an option, or coming with me into your dolphin pose. So keeping those forearms strong against the ground, not collapsing into the shoulder joints, pushing the ground away, and staying here for 3 more breaths. Shaking is okay, as long as we're breathing through the shakes. Meeting in forearm plank if you came with me to dolphin, and then everyone coming to your child's pose, maybe using your towel for a second. Just absorb all that hard work you've just done there. And let's move on before we take too much of a break. Coming into your downward facing dog, lifting that left leg to the sky straight away, flexing the foot. Exhale, bring it straight to the left thumb and come into your high lunge. Inhale here and exhale straight to your Virabhadrasana 2, your Warrior 2. So again, you know the cues already, making sure our body's central between our legs. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, flip your palm and paint the sky, legs stay as they are. Can you bend that front knee a little more? Chances are it did straighten a little. Exhale. One more inhale, lengthen without crunching into that side. And exhale to your Parsvakonasana. Right arm overhead. With every inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twisting open. Chest to sky. Remember, belly stays in. Active in both legs. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, coming through your reverse warrior as a transition, exhale, pivot onto the ball of the back foot, come into your lizard. Same as before, so you know where you're going. Staying on your arm, on your hands, and making small movements, coming down onto your forearms if that feels a little bit better. But trying to keep that left knee inside the body rather than wanting to flare out. Core stays active here. Coming up now, bring that left foot back and coming into your forearm plank. So staying here again, activating the protraction of those shoulders. Glutes are engaged. Or coming up with me into your second dolphin, pushing the ground away with those forearms and the shoulders, staying active here. Couple more breaths. And then meeting in our forearm plank before we hit our child's pose again, grabbing that towel if you need it. So let's take a second just to dive into our breath to reconnect. Send the oxygen throughout the body. Feel our heart. Is it beating fast? Is it beating loud? Just re-honoring that mind-body connection. And now sitting up, we're going to be doing a bit of a hip strengthening drills. So we're going to be starting off in a 90-90 pose. So watching the camera, if you don't know what that is, we're coming with our left shin to be parallel with the front of our mat. We want a 90-degree angle in that shin, in the leg, sorry. And that left leg wants to be directly coming out of the hip socket. Flexing that foot is really important too. Our back leg is coming directly out the side of that hip. We're honoring that 90-degree angle here as well, flexing that foot. So we should have a 90-90. So coming there when you're ready, shuffling if you need to a little, and we're going to just do 3 hinges to the front. So inhale, lengthen your spine, exhale, forward, not down. So we're coming forward, and you should be able to feel it in that glute med and glute min and the deeper gluteal tissues. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hinge. Remember to flex those feet, guys, protecting the knees, activating the legs. One more time, and we hold it here for a couple of rounds of breath. Activating the core, guys, here, protecting the back, and then coming center. And now we're going to rotate hinge. So we're going to be coming over this back leg, working on our internal rotation on that leg. So it's going to look something like this, starting whenever you feel ready. Now for some people this just isn't possible, and in that case bring the weight back slightly and then rotate, and you will feel the same effect. You're just a little bit tighter, or your mechanics are a little different. So taking 2 more of these, and then on the last one, let's hold it here and take a couple of breaths. Remember, flexing those feet, and it helps to inhale, lengthen, exhale, put a little pressure on that back leg to the ground so it can help you rotate a little further. And release. Beautiful. Let's come to another little activity. So we're going to be, if you focus on my back leg here, coming onto the big toe. And it's really important. This leg is glued to the ground, so it doesn't move. And we're lifting like a rainbow. We're arching that knee up, trying to get that knee as close to the ground as possible. So you're working on that right glute, but this leg needs to stay down. So you're really working both legs here. Doesn't matter how far you get. And then exhale, reset. Inhale, rainbow open. Squeeze that glute. Don't let this leg lift. Exhale. And this time let's hold it where it was. So adjusting if you need to, coming onto that big toe. Rainbowing open. Staying here for an inhale. Staying for an exhale. One more inhale, squeeze. And this time allowing this leg to lift slightly. So we're in sort of like an open, I want to say almost like a yogi squat, but sitting down. Pushing those legs down to the ground. Trying to come onto those tippy toes. Engaging both glutes. And then we're going to slowly rotate over. So this knee now comes down. This leg pivots like we just did. And you should find you're in a near about 90-90 on the other side. Adjusting your mat if it moves around like mine. So same alignment, shin to the back of the mat, leg is straight out of that hip socket, flexing the foot, and that 90-degree coming out the side as well, flexing the foot. So let's take 3 hinges here. So core is engaged, coming forward, and exhaling back. Inhaling forward, and exhaling back. Inhaling forward, and holding here for a round of breath, and then coming back. And let's rotate, either bringing your hands back or without. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, rotate. That pressure on the back leg allowing you to rotate. Inhale, reset. Exhale, rotate. This is a really great exercise to do just to strengthen that hip socket. And one more time, let's hold it here for a round of breath. Every exhale, I'm trying to rotate over that leg a little more. And if you can't feel it, try and bring your weight slightly back. You should feel it now. Amazing. Let's reset and start to hinge that foot. So coming onto the ball of the big toe. Rainbowing that leg open. Squeezing that left glute. And then closing. Open it up. Squeeze the glute. Keep that right leg to the ground. And exhale. One more time. Let's hold it here. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then let's slowly start to transfer onto our tippy toes, opening that leg, squeezing the glutes, and then transition to the front again. And when you're ready, let's meet in downward facing dog. Nice little activation of those hip muscles. Let's inhale our right leg to the sky, and exhale, come into pigeon. So right knee, right wrist, right ankle, left wrist. If you can, if you're super flexible, walking that back leg back. And we want to try and hit a parallel with the shin and the front of the mat, but obviously if you're not super flexible, that's not really possible. Also using a block under your glute can help to level out those hips a little better. So staying here if you feel it, but doing whatever you want in this pose, because we've worked so hard on those hips that if you just want to surrender and even let go of the breath, we're coming to the end. So just winding down, and hips are where we store so much tension and emotion. So if anything comes up for you now, knowing that the mat is a safe place for it to happen. And also letting go of the things that didn't happen in your practice today, or the things that didn't happen for you that you were hoping for in general today or this week. Giving it the space to dissolve into the mat. You don't need that right now. Any worries and concerns just pouring down into the mat with all the tension releasing here. And slowly let's just transition. Down dog, left leg rises to the sky. Exhale. come through to your second pigeon. And straight away, just surrendering on however you may need, or even just coming straight into that 90-90 again if pigeon just isn't happening for you today. Being kind to your body. Deep breaths going into any place that you feel is very tight or stiff. Creating more space so you can surrender deeper. And coming up, and let's begin our down dog, our final down dog of the day. When you get there, having that alignment, so remember armpits facing towards each other, opposite direction with the legs, pushing the ground away strong, ribs are knitted in, core is engaged. Let's close down our eyes again and take a final picture of how we feel in this downward facing dog after all that flow and strength work. Do you feel strong, tired, longer? And now take that physical picture that your friend has and ask them to take another one. What's changed since your first downward facing dog? Is your shoulders or your chest more open? Are your heels close to the ground, your knees slightly straighter? Is there a lightness to you that wasn't there before? Have you let go of some tension and you can see it in your body? Take one more inhale here. Fill up completely, fill up, up. Exhale, sigh. Let go of that practice. Come onto your knees. And either come to kneeling, sitting, or anything that's going to be comfortable for you today. And let's just close down our eyes. Palms facing up. Take a moment to re-enter how you're feeling. Lift your hands to either side of your body up to the sky. Exhale, cactus open gently this time. Feel your chest open to the sky. Inhale, up again. Exhale, raise your chin to the sky, open the body. One more inhale, hands to the sky. Anjali Mudra, bring your hands into prayer by your chest. Thumbs into your heart space. Inhale here. Exhale, soft sigh. Bow your head. Congratulate yourself on showing up for yourself. Taking the time to be on the mat, introspect what's happening with you. Knowing that as you leave the mat, you're more in tune with yourself, your true self. And you can show up better for the people around you. Namaste. Have a good day, guys.